Welcome to Coaching Uncut, a special series on the Unstoppable Woman podcast, where I take you behind the scenes and give you a peek into the private coaching I do with my clients. All of these coaching calls have been recorded with the permission from my clients who have generously allowed me to share these with you as a way of helping more people in this world. They give you access to master level coaching and the opportunity to learn the lessons that they're learning right along with them. Please keep in mind that these recordings are not studio productions and the audio quality may be less than ideal, but the content will take you far and help you become unstoppable. With that, listen in and learn. In this episode of Coaching Uncut, we're looking at how not to take things personally and how to shift out of binary thinking and into taking personal responsibility by taking things seriously and understanding that you're at cause for all your results. We're also looking at the sneaky ways that we get hooked into dysfunctional patterns and how to step out of that, and just a little application on how to apply the law of subconscious momentum and law of gestation. I hope you enjoy the episode and would love to hear your thoughts. Good morning. How are you?
Okay, so what we were talking about last night. Oh, yes, not taking things personally.
Yeah.
Yes, and now, recognizing how often I'm in that place is sort of my other new awareness. Clearly, what I was trying to say last night over text was, and I know it's futile, but was like, I'm struggling with, so how do you read the signals coming into you? Like, aren't there times when it is something that you not should take personally, but it is about you, and there's a reason to feel something negative as a result? It's just what you do with that. I'm probably not explaining what I mean.
No, I understand exactly what you mean.
So what's the deal? Versus sort of being naive, like, oh, don't take it personally, and like everything's fine. And I know that's not what you mean. That's the tape that comes into my head. Is the
correct?
What's the right way to think through that?
So the first place that I want, the first place I want to start you off with is that you're in binary thinking here. You're in either or. Yes. Old habits, hard break, right?
Yeah.
But it's important to see, either, your thought process is either I don't take it personally, or it's flippant, right? It's naive, right?
Yes.
I don't, right? What if you didn't take it personally, but took it seriously? Or what if you didn't take it personally, but evaluated the situation and decided what your standards were, right? There's so many not taking it personally and alternative responses than rose-colored glasses that ignore any important data that this particular situation has for me. Okay?
Right.
And so that's a real thought pattern that keeps you stuck and not growing. So the thing we talked about initially was any place where you're in blame or saying that someone outside of you is responsible for how you're feeling, right?
Right.
That you stop and you use that as a trigger, as a positive trigger for an evaluation. And okay, so if I'm not going to take this personally, what would I do? What do I need? What needs to happen here? Now, the other thing that I want to bring to the conversation is that not all people, one of the things I think you texted me about was, what if she's really she really is after me, right? What if she really is attacking me?
Exactly.
She probably is, okay?
Right.
And still, what is your personal responsibility? What is your reaction going to be? I'm not going to take that personally. That's about her, not me. From this point on, up until now, it has been about you because you're vibrating at that level. You're in defense. You're
Totally.
participating. But from this point on, this is not about me. I'm recognizing, and let's say you change this pattern as of today, right? And you're 100% on board. You're like, Mira, I got it. I'm on it, 100%.
Yep.
Then the law of subconscious momentum is in play. And for a while, you will get matched with what you've been putting out for years, okay? For years. And you have to let it go past you, continuing to be at this next level of awareness and beingness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does. Let me just say because there's an accumulation of this pattern or putting this cause into effect, it may keep showing up for a while, even after I've recognized that I want to change the pattern. And so therefore
not just that you want to change the pattern, but that you're actually showing up
changing
differently.
it.
Yeah.
Right. But I think, tell me if this is right, that I'm consciously showing up differently now, and instances of the old trigger may continue to show up for a while, and rather than view that as some kind of evidence that I'm not changing, let them go past me and don't give a charge or energy to them.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Correct. And more than just evidence that you're not changing, but evidence that it's not working or that the world works in this other way, not this way, right? You got to give it some time. And here's where the law of gestation comes in as well. So you see how all the laws work together.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to change. You have to consistently change. You know how I speak about massive, immediate, and consistent action? It's like one time, oh, look, I showed up differently once and she didn't change, right? My outside circumstances are still the same. And that's entitled, okay? That's that's not realistic. I hate that word, but I'm going to use it in this case. That's not how it works, okay?
Right.
You got to give the universe time to catch up with you, and that requires that you consistently show up in a different way. That's raising your own standards. And then what happens is there's these follow-on effects. You start making different decisions. You're not available for that. You show up differently. You get a job offer someplace else, right? Like all sorts of things happen, okay? Because you're not spending your precious energy on that. You're spending your precious energy on the things that are going to move you forward.
Right. And I'm like, yes, that's so, like, it totally makes sense. And the discipline, and, to your point, this is an example of holding myself to a higher standard. It's like not, doubling down on not giving into the hook in the moment, or the sort of, in my way of thinking, bigger hook of, this is evidence that my new way of being is not working, is not creating the new result, because I expect it instantaneously. And that is the
Yeah, it works on so many levels, right? It's that, and then there's the stuff we've worked on previously, and where we started off with this, like the justice of it all, right? People get really, and you were really, but she is doing this, right? And like, I am right, and she is fucked up, and right?
Well, yeah, totally, in that instance. And then it's not necessary to get into the details, but, now that I'm sort of paying more attention to it, of course, I'm sort of seeing it in multiple places. And I can think of another instance with a totally different person yesterday, and and I see too where like I'm kind of making it about me. It may not have even been having anything to do with me, but it's almost like, again, this like twisted way of me looking for every kind of evidence out there about people like finding fault with me, or I'm not doing something right, or anyway, I'm rambling, but it just
the other thing for you on this that you really have to pay attention to is this is how you're getting your importance, and it keeps track. I'm important. Like, this is justifying your importance.
How so? I don't disagree, but per se, but just can you elaborate on that? Like, which thing is making me important? Or
if you're so wrapped up in what she's doing to you, you're getting attention there. You're getting your sense of status, importance, level of worth in this world. Why do you need that to be important? It's a false belief, but it's really based in our patterns as children where any attention was good attention. You know, it's sort of like PR now. Any PR is good PR, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it was like, oh, at least I'm getting some attention, getting the shit beat out of me, but at least I'm getting some attention, right? Like the abused child syndrome, right?
No, totally. God, that's so twisted. It like never, I'm just taking it in and processing it. It just, this is an angle that never even occurred to me, because it's like, what do you mean? Because I'm important. I mean, I guess the whole, like, it's always about me is the thing about importance, but I wasn't, thinking, like, I associated the word importance with status in some way, or stature, and that feels disconnected from an interpretation that someone's trying to question my status or drag me down, and that whole dynamic and me complaining about it is somehow justifying my importance. I may be interpreting this wrong, but it's like, whoa, it's a mind bender. But again, too, and I hear what you're saying, but I'm still processing it. It's I gotta go look over these notes. That discernment and binary thinking, getting away from, either I don't take it personally or I'm naive, was what I wrote down, because that's the thing for me. Like, I've got a big hang up around being naive, or like too trusting, or, I don't want to be, like stupid, quote unquote, and not see that someone's trying to run me down, or that someone's trying to challenge me, like in a power struggle, and I'm just like, la la la, Yeah.
She very well may be. It's not, but it's not either or. Okay.
Right, and that's where you saying, well, what if I didn't take it personally, for example, but took it seriously, or took in the information and then decided what I was going to do about it.
People she's getting, just flip this for a second.
Yeah.
When you react, what does she get?
She feels important because I even give a shit. Yeah.
Right. And you're doing sorry to say it, but you're doing the same thing in reverse. Okay? Yeah. But why, like, now you have to step back, is like, this what I want to feel important about? This is total effing waste of time. Okay? Right. This is really not why I've been put on this earth.
Right.
Period, full stop, right?
Right.
Oh my God, to your and to your point, it takes discipline in the moment to not react in your old pattern way. There's no way around that, Courtney. Okay? Yeah. There's no like, take this magic pill and you'll be easily able to just ignore that when it comes and just be a different person. No. The only way to do that is by having the experience and making a different choice.
Right. So just to to play on this a little bit further, because this is one of those like fog out areas for me. I know we talked about it the other day, but so in the moment, I know, like, the first step is I'm being more conscious that, oh, I'm triggered here. So that gives
Correct.
me a chance to like pause, recognize, and respond versus react. Gotcha. Where the fog out comes in, though, is like, okay, what's the response? Is it, I mean, and you can't really answer this specifically because each circumstance will have its particulars, but is the response, like, again, it's so conceptual, I'm having trouble putting it into words, like, is there sort of a way that I can think about how to approach coming up with the response that's staying away from the trigger? Like, how do I neutralize? I know it requires discipline, but is it
Well, that's why I asked you, what would the chief HR officer do? Okay. And not that that's the only place that you're going, okay, but it's
right.
one place.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
It's to that question, and we've talked about this before, but I'm glad you're bringing it up again. It's to that question of who do I want to be and what's the gap there, okay?
Right.
Sometimes the B, like I'm using this example as the B because it's very concrete, but it can also be, I want to be someone who is undefended in life, right? This does not feel good. Playing office politics is not the person I want to be. Do I want to be naive? Do I want to be a pansy? Do I want to be a pushover? No.
No.
Okay,
Right.
but that's
Right.
a binary place. Okay, so
Yeah.
who do I actually want to be? And then what is the actual response of someone who is that?
Got it. Got it. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Love it.
You good?
I'm great. This is so good.
I
So
love
good.
it. Good,
So
good,
good. All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're
See you
so
tomorrow.
welcome. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Hey there, Unstoppable Woman. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that episode. I often hear, how do you make a quantum leap? How do I get out of my own way and execute at the highest level? As a high achiever, you know that hard work is part of the picture, but there's something more. And that's what I want to teach you at the Unstoppable Woman Income Breakthrough Summit. This is 3 days immersive with me. I'm going to be teaching you what it took for me to go from $138K a year to $700K in 1 year as a solo entrepreneur. That's a 5 times quantum leap in income. And I've helped so many clients do similar things, and I would love to help you do that as well. We are going to be working on your marketing. We're going to be working on your mindset. So it's a bulletproof mindset so that you can do what you want to do in this world. And we're going to teach you how to grow and scale your business faster than you ever thought possible. So please, if this is what you want, do not miss this. Join us November 5th, 6th, and 7th at the Unstoppable Woman Income Breakthrough Summit. You can find out more at joinAmiraLive.com. That's joinAmiraLive.com. Go buy your ticket now, and I can't wait to see you there.